Hey all, this is our Lunar Pull, our daily reading for the collective for October 26th, 2019, when the moon will be in Libra. So this reading is of course for any and all signs, as always. And the messages are really for the days surrounding and following the moon being in Libra, this Scorpio season, surrounding and following the 26th, right? So with that, we will go ahead and get started. I'm just shuffling up. This is the Deviant Moon Tarot that we are using again. King of Cups coming through in Scorpio season for us. If you are interested in the images in this deck, in the Deviant Moon Tarot, just scroll down to the description box below where you can find more information on that. You'll also find information on donating and ordering personal readings from me down below as well. The email address is lunartickstarot@gmail.com, and my name is Ace. Thank you so much to those of you who support Lunartics Tarot in all the ways that you do. Donations and orders, of course, but also just liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. It's all so appreciated. A couple of cards have fallen out for us now. We've got the Queen of Swords and the Three of Chalices. The Queen of Air crossed with the Three of Water here. Makes perfect sense. We're talking about the Libra Moon, cardinal air in Scorpio season, the fixed water sign, right? That really just keeps happening with these lunar pools, and I love it. Okay, so you have to make a cut or some cuts from your friend circle or a supportive circle of yours around this time, around the 26th, around the moon in Libra, again, surrounding and following. Or someone does. If it's not you, it could be someone close to you who's dealing with this energy. Could be a mature feminine air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, of course. Yes, that could be you, energy in your own chart showing up, or someone near you. Again, I would never get too hung up on the signs, as I always say, because we all always have all of the zodiac energies in our chart somewhere, and they're highlighted at different times, and so we can show up as different energies at different times, right? But it's great when those signs do confirm things for us, and you can feel that if it resonates, if it's a sense of confirmation for you. But this is someone, again, likely a mature feminine energy, who has made cuts before. You see the blood on the end of her sword. You see the tear in her eye here in this depiction of the Queen of Air. She has cut people out of her inner circle before, maybe family, friends, lovers, etc. When someone lies to her, betrays her, doesn't treat her the way that she deserves to be treated, simply doesn't vibe with her. Sometimes your vibe just doesn't match a certain person or a group of people's anymore, right? She has made these painful cuts. She has sacrificed in order to keep her space and energy clean and safe, right? She can see the truth of people. So this is someone who is seeing very, very clearly that within a group of, again, friends, co-workers, a supportive group of people around them, there is at least someone, if not many someones, who really don't belong in her space anymore. Maybe this is a group like we see pictured here of party friends who aren't true friends. They're just people you hang out with, you go out with, you drink with. But somebody has left you with a sense of disappointment, betrayal, or someone close to you, and a cut is going to be made, it looks like. Looks like a cut is going to be made to, again, keep this Queen of Air, this Queen of Swords, space and energy clean and safe. Someone doesn't belong near them. Someone trying to get away with something right under her nose, or has already been revealed, and that's why she sees the truth of them very clearly, because here in the recent past, we have the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Air, saying that there has been a painful ending to a negative cycle in the recent past. So that could be in the Queen of Swords deep past. Those could be the cuts in the more distant past that she has made that have led her to this space where she has the courage to do it again, the know-how to do it again, right? Or this could be recent, when she found out the information that she has, that she's wielding, that she's using to make this cut from her life. She's going to be very direct. She's going to be very honest. There is no lying to her. There is no getting away with whatever someone is trying to get away from. And that's clear here in the future position as well, in the near future, because there is loss here. There is an energy of loss. Be careful that you don't fit one of these roles. When we see the 5 of Cups, you do want to make sure that you don't leave behind more than you lost. So if you lost one of these friends, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to lose all of them. Again, co-workers, roommates, family members, whomever the group, the supportive group around you is. And if you act like one of these characters, either childish or angry about the situation, then you may lose more than you meant to leave behind, right? Not to mention, you know, that's just what I see here in this picture. One energy is seeming to scold the other one, and the way she's flailing her arms around, she might knock the other 2 cups over while she's at it, right? While he doesn't seem to be sorry at all that he's done what he's done. So either of these types of energies, or both, might be the kind that you're dealing with: childish, petty, infuriated, hateful, bitter, pissed. So you don't want to be either one of those, though, right? In that scenario, either of those might be what you're dealing with and part of why you're cutting someone out, but you don't want to cause more damage to the situation by being so irate about what's happening, or immature and childish and disrespectful about what's happening. And I don't think that you're carrying that energy presently, because she is very reserved and calm, and again direct in the action she's going to take and the assessment that she is making, right? But perhaps this person is so childish or so angry that they bring a negative quality out of you when this cut is executed and the loss is endured. It's likely, what I'm feeling here, it's very likely that someone is just putting on a front of anger or being very immature. That's their way of dealing with the fact that this loss and this cut and this ending does hurt. So again, if that's going to be who you're dealing with, then you can't control them, but you don't want to embody either of those energies. Look at it for what it is, and do what needs to be done, right? That's the Queen of Swords energy. The advice card is the Magician. You have all of the tools to manifest what it is that you need. It's also a message of someone who's doing one thing, that the audience, which you see here in the background, right, the shadows there, doing one thing that the audience sees while doing something else that they don't, right? Just like a magician uses sleight of hand, etc. So on a spectrum, this card can be a trickster as well. So I think that it's advising you to be that trickster in a sense, of a sort, but just the kind that is doing one thing for everyone to see while quietly doing something on their own, right? So if you do feel very, very bitter, angry, pissed at this person, if you do want to really let your temper fly at this individual for some reason, maybe for a lot of you, you might want to hold some of that back for something that you kind of deal with and cope with and go over all on your own, not around anyone, lest you end up looking like a villain as well, and incidentally communicating that to these other friends that you don't necessarily need to leave behind. I'm not suggesting that you should worry what people think of you, but the message that comes with this card is don't leave behind more than you lost. So don't push other people away around you by making them confused as to who is actually the wrongdoer in the situation. Which is, always going to be subjective, I suppose, but you, from your point of view, you, again, see what needs to be seen, own that truth, and make the cuts that need to be cut. Take the action that needs to be taken. That's something else that the magician is telling you to do, to act, to use your will to act. Take action now. Put your will into action. Use what's available to you to have this situation go down, to execute this cut the way that you want it to, the way that is honestly most beneficial for you. Especially if you're feeling betrayed by someone who was supposed to be supportive and is close to you, just do what is best for you at this point, right? But when you're feeling that sense of betrayal, this Queen of Swords that's likely representing you, or again, it can be someone close to you and you can expect them to cut you soon if you've done something like that to them. But I'm going to keep talking about it like this first card is the querent here. But she is pissed, she is bitter, and she can have a sharp tongue and be very bitchy, and there's a fine line to walk there. Sometimes somebody needs to be told, and other times you are just making a scene, making a mess, pushing other people away, making something out of yourself that you don't want to be, being someone that you don't want to be. I love her energy. She is very, very strong and committed to, as I said, keeping that space around her secure and safe. Clean is the word that keeps coming through. Whatever this other person did, it was dirty, it was nasty, and you don't want it, right? And that's the worst thing you can do to them, is just cut them and just be out of their life, and they don't know you anymore. You don't need to know them. There's billions of people on this planet. You can just be done with that. And it's not cold to say, I hope you do better, but it's not going to be with me. That's not cold. I love that energy. It's so strong. It is so clean. These are clean cuts that she makes. She's done. But it again is on a spectrum like everything else. She can slide over, especially if she had shown up in the reverse, into someone very bitchy, bitter, making nasty comments right back at this person, right? And then you're nasty and you're dirty, and it's exactly what you don't want. So it's almost like that other person will have won if they drag that nastiness out of you. And again, I will admit there's a fine line to be walked, because sometimes people need to be told, no, this is what you did, this is how I know what you did, and I'm done with you. And there's a way to go about telling someone the truth of who you are. This is your truth, and I see it. And it hurts, and it cuts people deep just to hear, like, oh, that is a mirror you just held up to me, isn't it? Without actually dragging yourself down into a version of you who you don't want to be, who your friends don't want to see you as, right? Because that's also how you end up obsessed with the past. If you handle the cut in such a way that it makes more of a mess, and they almost win a little bit because they drag you down to their level, then you end up for months, maybe years, looking back at the situation, at what happened, and obsessing over how it went down and how you could have done it differently, and continuing to hold the grudge and fume over what this person did to you. Whereas if you just make it a clean cut, where you just deliver the truth and you take the action that needs to be taken and go about manifesting what's next for you in your life, then you find it much easier to simply cut the cord and not think about it. I know I did my best. I brought my best to the table with them in the relationship or relationships, and then I brought my best to the table when I let them cut them loose, let them go. And it will just be like a neat little bow tied atop the gift you're giving yourself, and you get to just sort of float away from the situation. And that is what that anger, bitterness, resentment that you may want to put toward them is. It is a sense of attachment to them still, and that's what it will ensure for you moving forward. You want to still have an emotional connection with them in some way, which is why you're attacking. And subconsciously, minuscule though it may be, it's real. And then that is what, again, it will ensure for you in the future, because moving forward, you won't be able to let go of that last incident between you two, that last bitter, nasty conversation. You will keep looking back and then back at the relationship, whether it's romantic, friends, family. I don't mean to make it sound like it's a romantic relationship exclusively. It will be different for everyone. But some part of you wants there to maintain that emotional connection, wants that to still be there. And that's what you make sure happens as you move forward. If you don't just see the truth, speak the truth, make the cut. Which is probably what I'll, something similar to what I'll call your reading here. I want to take you a little further into the future. One more card. The Four of Swords. The Four of Air is in the more distant outcome. You will need to heal from this. You will need to heal from this. As I said, the audience doesn't necessarily need to see the bitterness, the resentment, the anger, but that doesn't mean that it's not there and that it's just going to melt away without any sound. You may need to write about it, meditate on it, find a healthy way to release that anger. Take up kickboxing or running, or some other exercise would be a good idea. The Magician is also suggesting, as I already said, that you focus on what you want to manifest next. Is one of those things a healthier physique and body? Because two birds, one stone, right? You can take your anger out working out and be manifesting that body that's of interest to you. He is looking specifically, particularly at his coin, so particularly focused on the physical in this depiction. Or it may be your money that you want to focus on. Anything to get your mind off of, I want to go back to this person and take it out on them. Because you're going to move into a state of incubation. New thoughts, new ideas are going to grow here. This is solemn contemplation and meditation. It's a space where you heal, and it's a space where you grow any new thoughts or ideas that are coming to mind. What might you want to manifest next? It is almost time for the Scorpio new moon. Are you making a list of intentions? Are you doing any moon magic, right? This is where your focus lies. This is what heals you. And in this space of solemn contemplation and meditation, we never want to forget that this is truly about showing gratitude. It's often a soldier showing gratitude after battle. So this is a space to remember who has seen you through the recent battle. Clearly, you have been through something recently and presently that feels much like one. There's been this painful ending to a negative cycle. Now you have to make a cut out of this group. There's obviously a loss endured. It seems like there's more than even two people here. So who has supported you through this transition? Or if no one has, if you're leaving an entire group of people, what parts of you and what parts of your past and your experience have allowed this to happen, have allowed this cut to take place, this truth to be revealed that has set you free from this nasty energy that you don't want around you? What has given you the strength to execute that cut and has seen you through to the space of healing now? What environment are you afforded that allows you to sit down and meditate and heal and incubate new ideas? It may not be the most comfortable, but there are things that are supporting you. There are parts of yourselves, likely some people at least around you as well, parts of your environment that are supporting what has just happened, that have seen you through, and humbled though you may be from these battles, aren't you grateful to have made it through them and to have what you still have to show, right? This is, it's obvious, but this is where your focus should be rather than on holding a grudge, screaming at somebody, being petty, childish, bitter, angry, immature, gossipy with your other friends. You know, it contradicts itself, right? Because all that negativity that this person brings out of you is the reason why you're cutting them. So don't let them drag you down one last time. That's how you really bring an ending to this. Don't let them do it anymore. Bottom of the deck, all of this is about the Emperor card, or the Emperor card is representing rather what this reading is about. Sort of an umbrella message over the entirety of the reading, and above all else, I see this culminating in you leading your life. You're taking charge. It may be a Taurian energy who has been nasty and bitter and hateful and gossipy, or something betrayed you in some way that you're cutting out, because you are conquering them here, holding them down. Or you may be a Taurian energy who has been suppressed by this character. Either way, right? Could be a Taurus involved. Again, signs, we don't want to get too hung up, but so it could have been a very dominating, controlling, manipulative, even energy that was trying to at least suppress you. That is who you're cutting loose. There certainly may be a significant Aries involved here with both the Magician and the Emperor showing up. Also could be Gemini with the Magician and the Queen of Swords here. But whether the signs are on point or not, there's the sense here that someone has tried to suppress you and hold you down, and you are no longer going to allow that to control any part of your life. You want to be the leader. You want to be the authority figure. You want to be the boss as far as who is allowed to be around you and how they're allowed to treat you. So you have to speak up and let it be shown. But though you want to be the leader of your life, you don't want to be the kind that is suppressing someone else. So you don't want to hold them down any more than they've tried to hold you down. You just want to be free and away from them. You shouldn't be looking to retaliate as much. It's going to halt your progress forward, which I think we know, but it's also very clear here in the message. So it doesn't look like it's going to be easy. We also have the Ten of Fire. It's a burdensome task, and one that some of you may have to complete on your own. So again, the reading then asks you to find what has supported you, because even when you feel totally alone, some part of your environment, your world, your inner world even, is allowing you to at least contemplate that. There is something there then to be grateful for, some part of your health and wealth. So we won't dig down into the deck any deeper. I think we will leave our lunar pool for October 26th there. Thank you so much. Again, I think I already thanked you all. Information on personal readings can be found down below. Donation link is down below. Yeah, do make the most of the time when the moon is in Libra. Do continue to. I hope you're all continuing to make the most of Scorpio season. I am personally loving this fixed water energy. I hope you are too. So good luck with the situation, and I truly look forward to doing another lunar pool for us as soon as I can.